Morris tries to play an incisive through ball, but cut out by Redoni. Oh, what was that? I cannot believe it. I actually cannot believe it. Anthony Hartigan tried to play a back pass to the goalkeeper. It was intercepted, and it was finished far post. Yeah, Nick Zanev was a good, 7, 8 yards off his line because he was trying to receive a potential back pass, but the back pass was an absolute poor one. Kane Hemmings, to be fair, did read that one. Kane Hemmings just has that knack to cut off that back pass and takes one touch, far post, easy slot, 1-0 Burton, very preventable. And as much as I like Anthony Hartigan and Alex Woodyard, every now and again they can be pretty sketchy when they're on the ball in terms of just being too casual. In that case, there was a little bit of pressure being put on Hartigan, so his first instinct was to try to play that back pass on the first time around, and cut out easily by Kane Hemmings, and it's going to be a goal here for Burton Albion. Hennigan tried to flick it over, and it went all the way to Mabude, but Mabude's shot was blocked. Chabzander whips the ball in. Good ball. Presley. McCormick! Yes! Come on! It was a ball played in, top of the 6. Flick on by Presley, back post. McCormick laced it, back post. Roof of the net. That is what you like to see from McCormick. Clinical when he gets a chance. McCormick throughout the season has made good off-the-ball runs, but he hasn't had very many opportunities to put the ball into the back of the net. And when you give him that opportunity, he will take it. AFC Wimbledon equalize 1-1, baby. Full-time whistle. Burton Albion 1, AFC Wimbledon 1. And, I got to say AFC Wimbledon played pretty well. I think they dominated a good 80% of that game, with Burton Albion every now and again engaging in the counterattack. And for the most part, Burton Albion were very quality on the ball. They had quality on the ball with their counterattacks, with the likes of Lakin making plenty of runs. He didn't receive the ball too much, so he got substituted for Kane Hemmings, who ended up finding himself on the score sheet actually after he cut off a back pass attempt from Anthony Hartigan. That's definitely rough from Hartigan. To be fair, he received a ball from the outside back at the time, Henry Lawrence. He had his pressure put on his right side, so he instinctually tried to play it back to Zanev. It was a combination of the pass not being put with too much purchase, as well as Kane Hemmings running into the line of fire, predicting that back pass was going to be made. All he had to do was take a touch. Zanev was, 10 yards off his line towards the left after intending to receive the back pass. I don't blame Zanev for that one. So he tried to recover quickly, but Kane Hemmings put it in the back of the net there, far post. Definitely a rough goal to concede from Anthony Hartigan. I think Hartigan overall had a good game, though, in terms of passing, quality on the ball. And him and Woodyard, honestly, were very good defensively. Mainly Woodyard, who did also give away a cheap opportunity there, as he received the ball square from Hartigan, and then he was too casual, got his pocket picked by Chapman. Chapman played. Actually, he intended to play a first-time ball to Kane Hemmings a minute after Kane Hemmings came in, but it was a very good defending by Ben Hennigan actually to cut off the pass. And I think overall Hennigan had a good game, positioning-wise, as well as winning headers, both on the offensive and defensive fronts. So Hennigan with a game-saving interception there off of the pass from Chapman, down the 18-yard box intended for Kane Hemmings as he just came on. And then Will Nightingale with a game-saving tackle, as well as around the 80th minute or so, there was a counter-attacking opportunity with Hamer on that right-hand side, who, by the way, found plenty of space on that side every now and again. The likes of Lawrence and Nessigadis Walker failed to cut him off at times or got caught too far forward, but Hamer made the run, and he tried to take a touch towards the center, but Nightingale he put the cross in down the 6, but Nightingale stuck his foot out and deflected the cross. But just 5 minutes later, actually Hamer found himself on that side again, played a ball down the 6 after AFC Wimbledon scored their equalizer, and I think that was Leak coming off from the center back position, stuck his foot out and got his contact on the ball, bounced off Zanev, bounced off Leak, and went over the bar. So Burton Albion could have easily scored a second goal after AFC Wimbledon scored their equalizing goal. So at times in the back, sketchy, especially on that right-hand side, giving plenty of space to Smith, as well as getting caught too far forward. Henry Lawrence was fairly disappointing today. I felt like when he was on the ball, got his pocket picked a couple of times when he tried to take it to the center, got picked off by Chapman in one instance. And another instance, I think, when he was on the wide area, just not, dangerous enough on that 1v1. He did find himself making those overlapping runs a couple of times, but we didn't really play the overlap too much today. To the outside backs, I mean. When the outside backs would come forward, we did play a couple of overlapping passes to McCormick, who hooked out wide, to a Sal, who made a couple overlapping runs. And I think the football was fairly positive today. We didn't create any chances really in that first half, aside from one opportunity that Jack Rodoni saw off of a cross. And I forget what happened. Rodoni... no, it was a through ball, actually. Rodoni tried to blast it, but it was Leak who made his presence known, came in with a slide tackle, and Rodoni blasted it over the bar. Rodoni was kind of a non-factor today, unfortunately. Again, not really confident with his 1v1 ability, and there were a couple instances where he tried to take it to his right and put the cross off, but it was either blocked or he got his pocket picked. So Rodoni kind of a non-factor today, but McCormick was a very good player all around, making off-the-ball runs, stringing together a couple good passes, and obviously scoring the goal today after a really good ball played in by Che Alexander during open play. Header won by Presley towards the back post for the second chance for McCormick to blast it. He had to get that one perfect. He blasted it with his laces off of the bounce. Had to get that perfect. Otherwise, it would have gone over the bar, would have gone wide, or something along those lines. Blasted it, roof of the net near post. Glad to see McCormick on the score sheet again. Aaron Presley played pretty well today. I gave him some stick in the past, but I think on the ball, he had a little bit more quality. Instead of taking 3 touches after receiving the ball, not knowing where to play it, he actually played a couple of overlapping runs to McCormick and to Asal. And one time to Woodyard as he came and dropped deep, played it over to Woodyard. And Woodyard, I think, tried to play a through ball over to either McCormick or Sal in that first half. And Presley won a lot of headers, actually. Presley has been a very double-edged sword kind of player. Very, what's the word for it? Polarizing. Some people say, it's not his fault. He's not receiving the service. On the other end, it's like, oh, he looks lost out there. And I was one of those players that thought he looked lost. But he didn't get too much service either. Hennigan, a lot of times when he received the ball, would lump it forward to Presley. Like 80% of the time he would do that. And Presley won a good amount of those headers, as well as a couple of times winning the chest down, laying it off to somebody. So I thought Presley looked good in terms of winning headers and whatnot. But again, the striking depth is a little bit shallow. You would like to see someone like Oli Palmer coming in to provide some assistance to Presley. Maybe we can play 2 up top at times. But I think Presley has looked better today than he has in previous games. But McCormick, great goal. Asal, as usual, great off-the-ball runs. And actually, at times, shrugging off his defenders. There was one instance in which it was a ball played long and over the top, I think, by Hardigan, and Asal just shrugged off Shaughnessy, who tried to get his body in the way. But unfortunately, he was deemed offside. Otherwise, he would have been clean through on goal. Another instance in which Asal... it was a pass that was a little bit wayward. It was a through ball that was a little bit too far to the left, and he just freaking rammed right into Chapman using his shoulder, and it allowed him to break forward on the offensive front. So Ayub Asal, quality as always, absolute must start. And I think McCormick, Asal, and perhaps Mabude. I think Mabude start him on the left. McCormick as the center attacking mid, Asal on that right-hand side. I think that's the move. Rodoni has been kind of a non-factor as of late. Obviously just coming off of injury, so that could be a factor, but we'll see what happens going forward. I think overall, decent game. I think there were times in which we looked kind of leaky in the back, mainly on that left-hand side, giving space to Smith and Hamer, the outside backs, but other than that, I think it was a good... overall solid game, good character. I think that's something that we lacked in the last 3 games or so, going down and showing character to try to get back into the game. And I don't want to throw that term around loosely, but I feel like we played very well. We tried to knock it around. Instead of knocking around the back line and playing negative football, I think we actually played direct at times, and at times we had the likes of McCormick making runs, Asal making runs, being very dynamic off the ball. Does certainly feel like a win, but Yeah. Anyway, 3 hour. No, it was like it's usually 2 hours. 45-minute halves, 15-minute intervals in between halves. But yeah, quality game overall, solid. I'll take the 1-1. As it stands, I think we're still in. Well, Google didn't update it, but yeah, they did update. Okay, so we have 13 points right now, still in 14th, just 6 points behind. Did Milton Keynes lose? No way. Doncaster, 2-1 over Milton Keynes, baby. That's what you like to see. Fuck you, Milton Keynes. They're 6th place now. Okay, that's good to see. Not only because Milton Keynes I hate them obviously, but they were 2nd and now they're 6th. That allows AFC Wimbledon to kind of have more of an opportunity to try to eventually make their way up to the top 6. They're only 6 points behind Milton Keynes now, who are in 6th. 7 points behind Wickham, so it's doable, honestly. In terms of the relegation positions, they're only 4 points ahead of Charlton. So again, it's fairly close, but this league is fairly competitive all across the board. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Presley was all. I think he did better than in previous games. He had the service, plenty of knockdowns, but you would like to see some assistance in terms of the striking position. Again, aside from one instance in which he dribbled it down the 18-yard box and drew the foul for Moshilaja, again, not really known for his chance creation ability. So nice to see that we had some more support, not only on the overlaps, as him playing the overlaps more often than in previous games, but as well as the service. Right, he had more service from the likes of Hennigan and Nightingale playing it up to him, or Hardigan and Woodyard playing it up to him, chest height, head height, and we've been utilizing his strengths more often. That being said, thank you guys for watching. It was fun casting this game. I will do some more in the future. See you guys on the flip side.